Okay, ask a question. Here in the front row.
Is there a particular reason why Silver dies in this episode? That's it.
Um,
That was my favorite character.
the horse was your favorite character? I really don't know what to say if the horse was your favorite character. I'm glad you liked the horse, but I thought I created a few characters who were even more engaging than the horse. Um, that surprised me too when I saw it. Because Silver is the Silver is definitely not dead in the books. In fact, I was just writing a scene, the Battle of Marine, which opens the Winds of Winter, where Sir Barristan, Dany is gone from the city, so Sir Barristan rides the Silver into battle to kind of conjure her up. So the horse is still around in book 6 in the thing, and is only dead in the TV show. I guess they just wanted to show the crossing the cold the red waste and how dangerous it is. On the other hand, although they killed the horse, they kept the handmaid alive. You may recall that in the book, one of Dany's handmaids dies of thirst and sickness and dehydration while crossing the red waste. And that handmaid, who was seen in the background, is still alive. But you'd rather have the horse, okay? You're one of those people, huh? You got to be very careful about killing animals. When we killed Lady in the first season, we got hundreds of letters of protest and angry things about people. I'll never watch your show again. Nobody cared that we also killed Micah the butcher's boy. The dog got a lot more impassioned defenses than the poor kid. So I don't know what that tells us about people. I can tell you a funny story about the horse, though, if you want a funny story about the horse. Um, it's actually related to the original pilot, which we filmed in Morocco. As some of you know, we did a certain amount of recasting after the first pilot. So we filmed Danny's wedding scene in Morocco, and of course, there's the big sequence there where Dany is given the silver filly by Khal Drogo, and in the book, she mounts up the filly and she rides away, and is she riding away because she's afraid? Is she trying to flee? But she turns the silver around. She rides it out, and she rides it back very fast through the center of the camp. And there's a huge fire in the center of the camp, and she leaps over the fire on the horse. And we had that stunt all set up to go. I was in Morocco as doing a cameo as one of the wedding guests, and was watching them trying to film that. And we had this beautiful silver filly and a gorgeous looking horse, just magnificent to look at. And we had one of Europe's top stunt riders, and we had this great fire built, and we were going to do the whole thing. That horse just would not jump over the fire. There's nothing we could do. They spent half the day trying to get the damn horse to jump over the damn fire, and it didn't work. So finally, David and Dan said, "Well, okay, put out the fire, and just have the horse jump over the logs, and then we will put in the fire with CGI." That horse still wouldn't jump over the fire. And I says, "I don't care. You're not fooling me. That was on fire a little while ago, and I'm too smart to jump over that." So we had to scrap the whole thing, which kind of was disappointing because it's a fairly big moment in the book. But that's the realities of television production. You can't, if you were Peter Jackson and you're filming Lord of the Rings, you could take 3 weeks to get the horse jumping over the fire. But on a television budget, you better get it, because otherwise you're going to fall behind and you're going to have to cut other stuff. So you got to do it. But then we did the wedding consummation, where Dany and Drogo ride out to consummate their marriage. Now, that was different in the original pilot than it was in the version that was ultimately broadcast. The original pilot was much closer to what I wrote in the books. It took place at night. It took place by a stream, and the two of them ride out on their horses, and they tie their horses to a nearby tree, and it's more of a seduction than the rougher consummation, semi-rape consummation that you see in the pilot is filmed. So, but it's still a sex scene, and it was cold in Morocco too. I mean, it was hot during the day. It was like 100 degrees during the day, but you're in the middle of the desert, and then at night the sun goes down. It gets very cold. So we're all standing around wrapped up in blankets, and poor Jason Momoa and Tamsin Merchant, who was playing Dany, are naked, doing their sex scene, and it was, you know, pretty hot sex scene that we're watching, and we're watching it on the video cameras here at night, and they're off by the stream doing it, and suddenly I hear someone laughing, and then someone else starts to laugh, and I'm hearing this ripple of laughing. I say, what the hell is going on? It's ruining the, you know, they're doing this passionate lovemaking scene. It looks pretty good to me. Why are people laughing at it? There's nothing fun. And then I said, oh, and what we realized then was that silver filly was not in fact a filly. The silver filly was a stallion, and evidently was quite turned on by the hotness of the sex scene, because in the background we're seeing this enormous horse erection that is that is appearing right behind the actors. So we had a cut. And when we redid it, you'll notice there are no horses in the background of the scene as ultimately filmed. So that maybe that's why they killed the silver horses. All the trouble that horse caused. Wouldn't jump the fire, and you know, getting turned on during the sex scenes was terrible.